Shit's about to get farts for real. I'm making some coffee. Am I recording? No, you're streaming. Okay. Um, I was watching these people, and I don't know. Let's see what they're up to right now. They're just playing old school war games, war gods. It doesn't look like something. What I actually wanted to comment on here was Trump's solution to prevent school shootings. I have an alternative idea, and I would like you all to hear it, if you'd like. It's not a bad idea. It's not criticism. It's an alternative, maybe even better idea. Maybe not. My idea is to have outpost points for police officers who are already on the duty, on job, and have nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, and would like to be the ones who would be the first responders, so to speak. So if your police chief, if your local police chief would want to, they could just set up outposts outside of the school for as long as the period of time necessary. They can watch people go in, they can watch people go out, and that can be their literal job, their outpost. And they can also swap hours if they think it's boring. They can always do something else. But there should be someone designated as a post officer to stay out as an outpost point outside of a school, which we should already have, which some schools do. Some schools do. My old high school had at least 2 police officers, or one at least, on campus at almost all times, and it worked. No one ever shot that school up while I was there. And since. So, no one ever tried to either, to my knowledge. They probably suspected people would, and there were people making threats, and then blaming it on me, which was very rude because they thought I looked like a school shooter or something. But, at the time when I was in high school, I had no interest in shooting up the school. I loved my friends and family, and my compatriots or comparts or whatever, companions. I had no interest in harming my fellow students at all. And I was a pretty good kid, but I dropped out because I got mad. I was done. But anyway, it doesn't matter why I dropped out. It was probably because of drama. But, you know, what I'm just trying to share is that there was a police officer on duty most of the time. And he was there watching for bad stuff. And I'm sure it's not that bad of a position. But being at a school isn't the only place where a mass shooter could be. It's not the only crime either that needs to be enforced. Law enforcement officials and officers have a lot of things to do. They often do street crime, responding to domestic disturbances, home invasions. What else? Drug peddling on the street, prostitution, and cars that are speeding or breaking a traffic law. So, like, if someone runs a red light, police can chase them, whatever, etc. So, I think the police are the answer, to be honest with you. Hello. I'm going to shit. really horrible today. But, friend request from C Patty. But, again, let me go get my coffee, yeah? Can I do that?
Nope.
I'm gonna go do that. I'll be right back with my thought. I'll be right back. There's coffee in this. Why didn't you drink that? Because I'm forgetful. I forgot, okay. I forgot. I need fresh coffee. I don't like old coffee. It's still good. Be right back. I don't know. Hold on. Hey. Hey. One sec. I was just getting my bad. Go ahead. Just getting my coffee ready. So, anyway, where was I? I was talking about, the idea of using our current police associations or alliances, or creating an alliance with police, or SWAT, or military, etc., etc., etc. There are many facets of people who we already have, who carry weapons, who are eager to help and save people. And I know that's true. Because there are people out there who tell me sometimes, they say to me, long ago, but they say to me, if I could get there in time, I would kill that guy, or I would stop that guy, I would shoot that guy so fast. And it's like, the problem is the police do take about 6 or 7 minutes to get to the shooting, which is over in 3. But if they're there in less than a minute, they won't need to wait to be heroes, because they will be heroes. They're eager to do it. And there are people out there who, I don't mind being eager to do that. You know, no one does. No one minds. We're not judging you for wanting to kill the mass shooters. Why would we? We don't care if you tackle them and go easy on them, or if you shot the guy. We wouldn't care if Nicholas Cruz got shot, probably. I wouldn't. Nobody really cares. Like, in this situation, it would have been okay if the police had just gone, sir, pop. It would have been okay, you know, but it was probably not appropriate because he was probably done shooting. He probably already started to hide, and so they had to chase him down, and he wasn't looking like he was coming at them, so they didn't shoot him, which makes sense, because they would have just shot some guy they didn't know, you know, like, but if they had seen the whole thing go down from where they were parked, if they saw something start to happen, they hear bop, 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 and they're in the squad car, and they start hear gunfire, and they go and they run, and it takes about 30 seconds to get to the location. They see a guy, active shooter. All they do is pull out their guns and go pop, pop, pop at the active shooter. And then the active shooter is either going to hide and they miss, and then he starts shooting at them, and then there's a shootout. And then, you know, and if they don't miss, he's dead. Shooter done in 30 seconds. Maybe two deaths. You know, because they heard the guy go pop, pop, pop. They took 30 seconds, maybe 10 people. But he only killed 17 within 3 minutes, and the police came in 6. So in 3 minutes, somehow he stopped himself, I imagine. Because he probably had enough ammo to kill more than that. Or maybe they just ran away and he got confused and lost. But either way, whatever happened, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't need to know. What does matter is that you use the people you already have at your disposal who want to help you in this situation. And if they don't want to help you, they'll tell you. If the police don't want to help in this situation, they'll tell you. But I promise you there are men out there and women out there who can really sense that they are angry. You can sense there are angry people. Because they want to help. And they can't. You know, if you're on duty, you know, dealing with some guy on the street who was selling drugs or something, and then you hear the call, it would make a police officer angry that he couldn't save someone because he's dealing with someone else. Do you see what I'm saying? And they want to. They already want to. There's lots of people who want to save lives and protect you, to protect and serve. That is the job of the police, to protect and serve. And often they either are good or bad, but most of the time they are good. I think they don't do bad things normally, as long as, you know, you're not doing bad things. And of course they want to protect kids, right? I mean, like, I would imagine it may not be the perfect job for everyone. Not everybody will want to be outposted outside of a mall or a, you know, like being a security guard. Like, not everybody's going to want to be the hero at the movie theater or the mall or wherever a mass shooting may occur, a theater, a concert. So to have police outposted at common areas might be wise, because there's also crimes taking place in these areas that are not mass shootings. So for example, maybe you have petty crime, theft at the mall. Maybe you have some kids with some knives or something, or you have some kids with some drugs. You know, you could bust a teenager. I don't know. But normally there's not much to do outside of an elementary school, but there could be. There actually could be, depending on the area. So, but it's not like you have to, you know, it's just a suggestion to maybe a police chief, since there should be, you know, common places where crime takes place and occurs, for the police to have something to do. That way they're there. And normally just the sight of a squad car might discourage a crime, which is often true. Because if they think they might get caught, then they normally turn around. But if they don't know the police officer's there, then they won't even see it coming. And yes, sometimes people do fall asleep on the job because it gets boring. No one would blame the police if they fell asleep at like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. at the middle of the day, and that they sit at the same place all day and nothing ever happens, and then fucking randomly the police have to deal with a shooter and they don't even wake up because they were sleeping, which is fine. But like, could you actually imagine going through that and then being mad at yourself for falling asleep? Not really your fault. It's an incredibly boring outpost. You know, like, you could have a boring outpost and you could just be like, man, there's never any crime here. There's nothing to do. This is our job. We have to sit here. And it's like, then they fall asleep. And then 2 years later, random shooter comes. They don't wake up. And they're like, no, no. And then the boss is like, you're fired. And then they're like, luckily we had Thomas, the good cop, who happened to be 2 minutes away, and he saved the day. You guys are gonna be reprimanded in the worst possible way. You're fired. Okay. But like, you know, that's why, that's the way I see things in my world. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's not funny, and, it would be sad if that happened. So hopefully there won't be a firing because they fell asleep and someone else had to do it. Because it's like, can you imagine taking 1 day off just to relax a little bit because you've always been on edge that there might be a shooter here? Can you imagine how much that would suck? It does happen. It does happen. And it's really nothing to be ashamed of at all. I wouldn't say that's a bad cop. That's a cop who has human nature. Human nature is to get bored. And if you can't put yourself in their shoes, you shouldn't be in charge of them. You know? Like, if you don't understand that it's very easy to get bored at work, and when there's no crime, police get bored, humans get bored, what do? They nap. What else is there to do? You can nap. You can play a game. Look at a phone. I don't know. I don't know. But it's human nature when there's nothing to do. Like, let's say you're at work, but you don't have anything to do. And what do? I don't know. Oh man, I lost my thing? Oh shit. I didn't know you lose your thing if you die. But like, the, yeah. Give me a second. I'm sorry. What if, I'm not even here to talk about that, but like, if I had a job, and this is my job, you know what I do when I get bored? I go back to bed. I see that as human nature, and it is. job. I tried to steal that, though. Don't steal kills. I'm trying not to. You're lucky I didn't. Scope. Awesome. Good job, actually. We're 1633 and we're just taking turrets. You want me to talk about racism? No, say something racist. No. I'd rather not. That's the last thing we need right now. Unless you think it's funny. We have enough problems with race relations between whites and blacks at the moment. I don't think Daniel needs to be saying anything racist to anyone, including Asians or Hispanic people. There are enough race relations between all races that are having issues, especially white people. Daniel saying racist thing is not a good idea right now, even as a joke, because there are people who are mad right now, and you know, making other people upset is not my job. Making people laugh is, but you know, sometimes making someone else mad isn't the way to go about it. You know, like, maybe you could get mad that I didn't tell you a racist joke when you asked me to, but if you want a racist joke, you can go read them on the internet. For now. Do you want me to be more racist? Would you like me better if I was more racist? Like, is that what are you asking me to be more racist so that you will be entertained? Is that what you want? I can do that. I can do that if that's what you like. I'm here to entertain, but I don't want to upset, you know? I don't want to upset anyone, you know? Like, upsetting people is just asking for trouble, you know? Because what if I make a joke about someone else's race and they're not entertained? Like, if someone made a joke about white people and I wasn't entertained, I'd be upset, right? I'd be like, oh, that's not, oh, damn it. But, yeah, I'd do that, I guess. You know, like, thank you for tanking for me. So, do you want to be racist? No, I have no interest. We want you to be racist. Is that okay? Why? Because you look racist. So if Daniel looks racist, it's better if he is versus if he's not? I wish I understood this. Make white people jokes. White people jokes? What do you mean, like normal white people jokes, or normal white people? Are normal white people jokes? Are normal white people jokes just racist jokes? Yeah. Uh-oh. What's it like to be white? What do white people do? What do white people do? Okay, I can make fun of white people, absolutely, yeah. Why is it all white people always drive like this? Shut up! Anyway, oh my god. stop. There we go. That didn't really hurt Lux very much. I'm doing horribly. There you go. Alright. Damn it, my D didn't work. I was trying to flash on that. Yes, I am having it. Ugly condition. Why am I streaming when I feel ugly? It's normal. This is, I feel up. So, that's why I'm streaming. I feel awake. I just ate. I had a good meal. Help me, please. I'm trying. God, I'm ugly. Back. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Damn it. What do you do? Try not to be. I don't know. There's nothing I can do right now, to be honest. Like, suck it up. I just ate 2 giant meals. I'm fatter than I usually feel, and I'm not going to the bathroom anytime soon. I feel like shit. I look like shit. Life sucks. Oh fucking well. No cold medicine. Oh fucking well. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Life sucks. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Deal with it. Okay. No marriage, no wife, no kids. Deal with it. No dream come true. Deal with it. Not ready for marriage. Deal with it. Everybody thinks I'm not ready for marriage. I tell them all the time. I'm ready. I'm 28. I've been waiting my whole life. It's about time my Daniel settled down. Stop being such a crazy man. Have some kids and have a baby. Deal with it. Maybe don't do good. Maybe your wife leaves you, cheat on you or something. It's okay. Have a kid or 2 to deal with it. Maybe your wife flirt with boys and stuff. I don't know. Deal with it. You know, deal with it. Take it as it goes sometimes. You know, deal with the marriages suck. But, hey, sometimes you just want to be with someone for a long time. You just want to have someone there for you. And it's nice. And sometimes it doesn't matter if you smell like fart. As long as your kids turned out good. It's alright to sit on Papa's lap. He don't get boner no more. You got an erectile dysfunction. Yeah. You got that, you got the problem. You can sit on Daddy's lap without him getting excited, I think. It's alright. You know. I'll teach you how to play piano, little boy and girl. Do. And my wife will be very proud of our children because they will turn out to be very good musicians, although I hope I didn't fuck them up really bad with the tale of terror that I told them about the serial killer that lived up the road, and how he always goes after little boys and girls. And I told them this when they were 3 years old, and they never forgot the story. And they keep saying, Daddy, Thomas, the tank, came and came to stab us. And And I'm like, yes, he did, but I stopped him. I don't know. Daddy, 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 someone came in the house last night. I saw him, I saw him, I saw him. No, that was just your imagination. No, I'm not that bad of a guy, though. I don't think I would torment my kids by telling them stories about, like, the evil murderous man up the road, and also how daddy used to chop up little kids and feed them to his pet slave woman. What? In the basement? And I wouldn't want them to know about that. I wouldn't tell them that, and I wouldn't say that on this stream either. No, okay, whatever. But you know, like the it's not funny, but like the kids, if I ever had any, I don't think I'd like to fill their mind with that sort of thing, because then they'll be like, is that normal? You know, like, is it normal for people to do that? And then they're like, and then I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, oh, okay, we're ready. And then I'm like, well, we'll get your first knife when you turn about 5, okay? We're ready. And it's like, okay. I'm very well trained little serial killers I ever got. No. Though, actually, no. I would, make sure they're good kids, and, I would probably teach them everything from home. And, I would not circumcise my boys. I would not. I don't believe in mutilation or molestation, or sexual religious practices, or torture, or rape, or teaching them bad things. Like, they can watch movies all they want, but they'll have to wait till the age is proper, until they I don't know how, I don't know how to teach them about murder without their mind getting fucked up, because murder is just a bad thing. Like, how do you teach them that bad stuff happens without making them into bad people? Like, you have to think to yourself, how do you tell them about how dangerous the world is, if it is dangerous, and how to keep them safe from dangerous situations without them being morbidly curious and becoming nasty people? Like, this is a good thing that I may need to learn in a parenting guide or something. Like, how do you, when they're ready, like, how do you, do you just show them the reality, or do you just shelter them? Like, do you shelter them, or do you show them? What is it? Like, which way is going to make them turn out the best and the friendliest and the nicest? Which one turns them into serial killers, and which one turns them into nice people? Like, I don't know. I heard somewhere that it is possible to raise them to be bad, and then them actually turn out to be bad. So, like, genetically speaking, I don't think they'll have urges to murder. But they might have that. But you teach them to restrain if they have hunter instinct. So you say, like, if you have the urge to hurt someone, that's called hunter instinct. It is an instinct that you use to hunt food, but not hurt humans. You don't hurt humans. Like, it's like you do have to teach your kids not to do that, because it's hunter instinct. It's a natural instinct of the brain. Killing is a natural instinct of human nature, unfortunately. But, like, it's not like something that's impossible to control. You teach them. They don't even need to be learning how to hunt. You don't even need to teach your kids how to hunt unless you really need to hunt. Like, you could bring them when they turn about 12 to go on a hunting expedition, but do they need to know? Yes. If they're ever stranded in the mountains on a camping trip, I suppose. But, like, when you're just being around the city or going around town, you don't need to know how to hunt. You got the store, you got Walmart, you got all these places you can go to get food. What do you need to hunt for? It's an instinct. It's an instinct. We all have it, and we need to learn how to express it properly, and not use it to hurt someone else, which is what some people grow up doing. Some people grow up to do those things, and they're just following their instinct, and we all call them evil, but they're just misled. Really, they're misled humans, and they just need to learn how to control their instincts. A lot of people have murderous instincts, and I think we all do. I mean, maybe we don't think about it like that. Maybe we don't think, oh, I want to go torture or kill someone. Not everyone's thinking like that. It's like, sometimes kids smush bugs and play with, like, small animals and smush them. They don't do it because they're evil. They do it because they're curious and they want to see what's inside. Normal. But also, you need to catch them when they do that and say, don't do that, because that is a good sign that they won't know that that's wrong. Because if you don't tell them that's wrong, they will continue to do it, and then it'll evolve into a problem. So as soon as you find out that your kids might be smushing bugs, that's when they're at the stage that you need to tell them that they're wrong for smushing bugs. Don't smush bugs, don't smush animals, don't smush your pets, don't smush lizards, don't smush things. It's not right. You could end up being a bad person. You go to jail for that. It's illegal. Don't do it. And then your kid's like, oh, what does that mean? It means don't do it. You're going to get hurt. When you smush a bug, you get smushed. And then they're like, whoa. And it's like, I didn't mean it like that, kitty. I really didn't mean it like that, actually. I meant you can get in trouble and you get arrested or get killed. You could get smushed, actually. So if you do that to someone else, you might get smushed. If you try to kill someone else, you get killed too sometimes. And sometimes you go to jail and you get in trouble. That's why you don't do that. That's why you don't smush animals. That's why you don't smush people. And they're like, oh, because life is valuable. And they're like, oh, life? What's life? And it's like, life is what you have right now. You're alive, and if you smush something, it dies. Your life has been taken from you. So if you lose your life, if you take someone else's life or something else's life, you are a murderer, and that's wrong. Life is precious. You need to keep it alive. Oh. Just teach them that. Maybe it's easier than teaching them about smushing bugs, I guess. Teach them that life is precious, and it should be loved and respected. Like, if you look at life like, if you take away someone else's life, you've taken their life. I'm dead inside. Someone murdered me already because I'm empty inside. Someone has gone out of their way to make me want to commit suicide. Is effectively killing me inside. You murdered my entire reputation. You murdered my heart and soul. I'm dead. So whoever did this to me murdered me. I'm already dead. So the world around me has essentially killed Papa. Papa is dead already. He's basically a zombie husk. Really, Daniel is a zombie husk of a man. And he has been murdered many times by many people. and for some reason he's still alive, a little bit. But Daniel is just simply a body. His soul is still here, but yeah, he's about dead. You know, Daniel doesn't have what would be considered a normal life. His life was stripped of him, so he's dead socially speaking. Someone murdered Daniel in society. Societally speaking, Daniel is dead. But if you're talking about his body, he is very well alive. So he has life in his body, but not outside of his room in society. So, since Daniel is ugly, he is not well received in society and is treated with little respect and a little of a lot of things. So, Daniel is basically dead, but he's still alive and hanging on for some reason. And why? Because I believe in hope. There's hope that maybe I can make money one day. There's hope that I could get a job one day. There's hope I could get married one day. There's hope I could have kids one day. That's why I hang on. That's why I hang on. Because there's hope. You know? There's hope that I can change or make up for whatever I did wrong. There's hope that if I did something racist or pedo or something, that Daniel can change and make up for it and apologize. He already has many times. But Daniel has a pretty clear conscience about his life and feels pretty good. Has gotten in a fight with his mom and some other people. That's one thing that's bad about Daniel. He has a violent temper. Daniel has a violent temper, unfortunately, and he's ugly, and his life sucks, and he's basically dead. So, sucks to be Daniel, but at the same time, it's not that bad. He has a computer, he has lots of games, and he has food, and he has coffee, and he has medications to take, he has coffee, he's good. He's good, he's well taken care of. Daniel's doing good. But at the same time, Daniel's not dating well because of his face. What happened? I have no idea, actually. Maybe it was the curb stomping, but like they stomped my face and my jaw broke and my teeth fell out, but I got fresh one. You got curb stomped? Long ago. But my teeth made it. My jaw broke. My jaw broke. From the curb stomping, it snapped my jaw open. It snapped the bone. Like a dislocation of the jaw instead of the teeth falling out. Because I had little tiny bitch teeth. And I'm sure they would have liked it if my teeth didn't roll against the sidewalk, but it did go. I'm sure you loved the sound of my teeth grinding against the sidewalk, didn't you? I bet you loved that. Sick fucks. Anyway, well, it's a very visceral thing. It felt good. You know, it's like, ooh. Have you ever put your teeth up against the sidewalk and just felt the cement in your mouth and like was like, this is one of the worst feelings I've ever felt in my whole life, and it feels like, you know, someone's just putting nails on a chalkboard, but at the same time, ow, my jaw. Oh wow, what have you done? Alright, thanks. You know, like, cool. What happened to your face, though? Oh, that's, after they were done, they kicked me and stomped me. Oh, and then they broke my nose and my face and my eyes. and left me for dead. And they tried to smush my brain out, but I guess my skull was too hard for their weaknesses. No offense. You couldn't smash my brain open if you tried with your feet, because you failed, and it didn't turn out right, for some reason. Like, why? Why didn't you have enough power to smush my skull open with your feet? I'm just kidding. Please don't try again. You know, like, maybe, maybe it's okay that you missed or slipped or whatever, I don't know, but my skull didn't crack open, thankfully, unless it did. No, it didn't. Like, seriously, it didn't. That's not a sign of my skull opening. My skull has never been opened, to my knowledge, on the street. To my knowledge, on the street. I'm trying to click on this stupid goddamn thing. Hey, Daniel, what's wrong? I can't click on my... Oh, it's locked. Oh. My bad. This is not a sign of my skull opening. That was not from my skull being smashed open. That is from being ugly. You see? See how when I do that, I have this one brow? It's because when I raise my eyebrows, my eyebrows do this thing and it leaves this really ugly indentation. Why? I don't know. 'Cause I'm ugly. It's been like this since high school. Because I never used to do this, and I never realized how ugly it is when I do. As you can see, it leaves a little line. There's a line there, a big line of confusion and worry, and then it just stays there. It's like a line of permanence and unfortunateness. But if that was the line where my skull came open, there would be skin all over here too, of where the line is. There would be a scar line over here. It wouldn't just be there. You know, like, it never happened. But like, I like that you think that way. I like the way you think. Because if that did happen and my skull and my brains were wide open, they were put back in somehow, and I'm still here. What? You know, like, I don't think that happened. It wouldn't make any sense, honest to God. Like, and most people don't survive that crap. Not anyone. I'm gonna say not anyone. If someone's skull has been smashed open, the odds of them surviving, very slim. Very slim. You know, like, I saw a picture of a man with long hair who apparently got laid out and his brain fell out of his skull. And it looked like me. And I was like, oh my God, is that Daniel? And it's like, no. You know, like, and honestly, that guy didn't live. His brain fell out of his skull. Do you think they just put it back in and it was okay? No, when the brain falls out, it disconnects all of the eye ligament connections. You know? Like, the eyes are in a socket, and when the brain is removed... Oh my God. Do you guys want to see brain removal? No, 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 no. Okay. Do you see how that guy's line on his face went all the way down this way because he had a brain surgery? Let's go back to that. This guy had a cut up here, and this whole thing, I don't know what they were doing, but they removed a large brain tumor in this man. But my line is not from that, and it wouldn't be slanted if they did. They would have done it up here, and it would have been all the way down here. And there is no, to my knowledge, sign of a indiscrepancy of brain removal in Daniel, or surgery of this sort on Daniel, because we don't have insurance. We never really did, and the doctors never did any brain surgery on Daniel, even though they probably wanted to. I'm sure some people are like, Daniel, we need to do some brain imaging. Do some brain imaging, but don't do any surgery, okay? Show me the brain images. You know, like, but like, where did you find that the eyes are connected? Well, eye to brain connection. The optic nerves are connected to the brain right there. And once it's removed, if the brain falls out, the optic nerves are disconnected. Oh. That means they are not able to be put back in. So if my brain ever fell out of my skull, the optic nerve would be removed. Oh. And it would not work anymore. It would be fucked up. It would be pulled out. So whenever you see a brain, and you don't see the optic nerves attached, where do you, why can't you find any images of optic nerves? Well, there's an optic nerve right there. Okay. Why is it so much harder to see? Like, well, once the brain is removed, literally, the optic nerves are removed as well. They're no longer connected. Okay? It's not funny, no. But once the brain falls out, if the brain falls out of the skull, why don't we just look that up real quick, see if we can find the brain falling out of the skull. We could look up brain removal. Here's a brain being removed, but as you can see, it's needing to be cut, because there is a cutting involved. There are nerves and connections all over it. This is a string. There are just connections all over it. All over it. Okay. Thanks, Daniel, for that. You're welcome. Now, I don't know exactly what we're looking for here, but we're looking for, like, how everything is connected in the brain, to the ears, to the eyes, to the nose. And it's very hard to tell when it's still in, and then hey, why don't we look up a video of brain being removed?
Students think that the brain is sort of the consistency of a rubber ball, and that's because in the laboratories and teaching specimens we have formalin-fixed brains.
They don't show you it being removed.
Of this car is firmly attached to the tentorial compartment. The portion of the brain that is vulnerable to such is the anchors of the temporal lobe. Then we have the tonsillar hernia, where
Okay.
hematomas, collections of blood clots. So it can be epidural or extradural, the same, and then subdural hematoma. So with all this removed, the brain can be lifted off from the cranial cavity.
Everything's been cut already. You can see
With the
here,
brain
though.
removed,
There's optic nerves.
we have the base of the cranial cavity. The base of the cranial cavity is divided into 3 fossa: anterior cranial fossa, middle cranial fossa, and posterior cranial fossa. Note that the posterior cranial fossa is below the attachment of the
It's not funny,
tentorium
Daniel.
cerebelli. So the roof of the posterior cranial
Respect
fossa
the dead man.
is the tentorium cerebelli. The dura of the
You're not talking about what I want you to
base
do.
of the skull. So from the eye, go to the optic canal,
There we
and
go.
then appear in the cranial cavity. That is the left and right optic nerve.
Oh, so that's where that
The
is.
optic nerve
That's cool.
will join together in the midline to form the optic chiasma.
Wow.
Optic chiasma.
Now, how does that connect to the brain exactly? Does that have something to do
Note
with
that
the brainstem?
directly posterior to the chiasma,
Okay. So, the so so like what I could do is look up like how optic nerve is connected inside of the brain to the chiasma. The chiasma is there, and as the brain is seated, the tract of the opticals are located and the base of the brain where they connect to the spinal cord, which is here. The optical chiasma is here. Now the reason why when you see a brain, and oh, here's a great example. There's a drawing of where they almost got the eyes out entirely, and if the eyes came out of your skull, which is impossible because you have eye sockets, if the brain is pulled out of the skull and falls out, but if the optical nerves are stretched and the spinal cord is stretched out, you could put the brain back in if it didn't detach, if it didn't get pulled off when the brain fell out. But if the brain fell out entirely and rolled on the floor, then there's really not a chance to be putting that brain back in. Basically, yeah. So if the brain fell out a little bit, but then wasn't all the way out, and then someone saw, oh, there's a guy with his brains falling out, why don't I put his brain back in and then close his skull up and then like just leave it and be like, hey dude, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. What? Brain out on streets. I can't find it. It's on an album cover. I can't find it. There's this guy who had his brains falling out, and I was like, oh my god, you know? And I can't find it anywhere. Brain out of skull. Oh god. Ew. Oh. There aren't very many examples. Good Lord. Of let's not look at other people's violence to people such as that. You know? Like, this is disrespectful. But I was looking for something of a white person whose brains have been laid out on the floor. But all we can find is, probably... Oh, wow. Is that an eyeball? For real? Yes. That is an eyeball. Wow. Okay. Well, okay. Let's just suck it up. We're going to see some gore. And, it's going to be dirty. And this guy looks like he might not be okay. He's not okay, but he looks alright. But it's possible. It's possible you could recover. No, you can't recover from that. I'm sorry. This you can't recover from. I'm sorry about that too. Not you. No. No, you can't recover from that either. No. Actually, that is the front of someone's face. That's sort of sad, actually. That's actually very sad, actually. That sucks. This is another African American person who got probably I have no. He got hit by a truck. Okay. Thankfully, that wasn't a hate crime. Thankfully, I thought it was a hate crime at first, but it's not. Thankfully, there are lots of gore of people's brains being laid out on the street, but I can't find the one I'm looking for. I was just looking for a guy's brain that just like kind of fell out. Actually, like it's like it's like when he hit the floor. He hit the floor, and his skull just popped open, and then the brain just fell out. Literally, like it was like there's this guy, but there wasn't very much blood. It's like he got punched, laid out, fell down. His skull went open, and the brains were on the fucking sidewalk, and it was like awesome. Like it was actually awesome because the picture showed two guys, a white guy with long hair who got laid out and his brains fell out on the floor. And I was like, this I must see again, but I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it anywhere. And the guy's probably dead, yes. It's a real picture. The guy's probably dead. But at the same time, it looked so interesting in comparison to some of the gore I've seen. To some of the gore I've seen, like, it looked like someone's skull opened, no blood, their skull cracked literally open, like when they fell it went like a like a like a you know how when you open a walnut and the walnut has like a brain in it and you do it right? It's like someone just cracked open a walnut. The head, the skull, everything, just, like a walnut just opened. And then the skull fell out. and there was no blood. There was no blood. It was like this guy fell, his brain cracked open, his brain just fell out. Like his skull cracked open, the brain fell out. And sometimes if you let an embryo live, it can turn into a fairy. Shut up, Daniel. You're sick. That's what I've been trying to tell you. You can create monstrosities if you let your unaborted, unborn, unbaptized children to live. They will turn into little pixies, and they'll float around your room, and maybe, just maybe, torment the crap out of you. Fetus fairy? Yes, fetus fairy, Daniel. This is what you shouldn't do when you have an accident, such as maybe your baby didn't get born all the way, and you do not just roll them up and put them into things and say, I want to save them. You throw them away. You don't give them to the doctor and say, can you make him into stronger? No, 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 no. When the baby doesn't work out right, you do it down the toilet. Like my ex-girlfriend Vanya told me. I shouldn't talk about Vanya anymore. But there was this fairy that came out of someone she knows. And it went down the toilet. She flushed it. And Vanya said, I saw it. We saw it together. And it wasn't funny. And she said that's what I could have done to myself if I was that age. And me and Vanya were laughing, but it wasn't funny. We were laughing. And, but we used to talk about these weird animals we used to catch. We would go around, and there'd be these fairies, and we'd be like, where did they come from? Where did they come from? And apparently, Daniel had been excreting semen from his body accidentally, and it was somehow the semen that were flying. Daniel's semen has evolved to be able to fly through his pores into other people's bodies and get them pregnant. That's what people have been saying anyway. That's what Vanya said. She was like, Daniel, I think your semen is able to just secrete into me and from far away. When you're around, I get pregnant always. And I'm like, that's awkward. And then I'm like, well, if my semen is flying towards you, that means that my semen, if it reaches one of your eggs, will turn it into a flying creature, I imagine. And she's like, yes, sir. And I'm like, well, I guess that's what a fairy actually is. And then, so we would catch them, of course, but sometimes we would just let them go because they were ugly. And when we did catch some, we would let them go, and we would just study them and draw them and say, this is one, but we wouldn't take pictures. Why not? Because, taking a picture of something like that is just inappropriate, and science would reject it. Absolutely. So we realized that science was not on our side, and we said, what point is there in taking photos of these creatures if they're unnecessary? Like, these creatures are not accepted in society, so we often just kill them. Most people don't even know they exist, so we figure, why not hunt them? So we hunt them, and we give them weapons to fight us, but they're normally about this big, and they don't really do anything. And they try as they will, but they're weak. And, they're very weak, actually. Why? You son of a stupid asshole, shut up. It's about time Daniel shut the hell up. Why is he talking so much? Someone shut that fucking cock up. Say again? Fuck you! Why does it make you cough? I don't know! Oh my god, you look like a zombie. It's not supposed to make you cough, Daniel. I can't control it. It's like it didn't make me cough when I first started. It just started overheating or something. Like there's something wrong. What could be wrong? I don't know, maybe I'm smoking it wrong, but when I started smoking, it never made me cough. Like a day or two ago, it wasn't making me cough. So why does it start making me cough now? Is it because I smoke too much, or is it because it's too hot? I have no idea, Daniel. What did I do to it? Did I break it? I don't know. Do you think it's just to make me quit? Do you think someone would... No. No one would pull the one would pull the pepper spray prank on Dan. It's just not something that someone would do. Like, if someone put pepper spray inside of my my vapor, that would be really fucked up. You think? Yeah. Yeah, I'd feel it in my pores. I'm pretty sure in my sinuses. I don't think. I'm sorry for coughing. I don't really know why I can't smoke anymore. Like, it's like, I guess I just went too hard on it. I started going too hard on it, and it just started making me cough, so I can't do it anymore. Every single time I try to smoke it, it makes me cough. It just goes straight to the... There's gotta be a way to avoid that, Daniel. I know, I don't really have it figured out yet. You went slower that time. Yes, but the problem still persists. I feel like coughing. Did you just eat the goddamn fucking shit, Daniel? I don't know what I'm doing. I never know. I was doing it right a few days ago. What happened? Okay, the taste is good, so I like to eat it. You're eating it? You shouldn't eat it. But it tastes like food. You have a serious problem. I should go. I'm weird.